Alright, good evening, Bourbon Quest. Alright, I did a video earlier called my favorite daily drinkers, daily sippers. Colonel Taylor, Blanton's, what else was in there? Colonel Taylor's, Blanton's, anyways, you get the idea. Go back and watch the video. Anyways, so got a little extra time on my hands tonight. I thought we would come out here to the garage so I can smoke a cigar. This is my father's cigar. That's the name of it. The brand name is My Father. Not actually my father's cigar, but anyways, you get the idea. So I'm not even sure which one this is, but every cigar I've had from my father has been great. The brand, not Cooley. As you know, I think I mentioned a couple times in my videos before, my father, not the cigar, but my father, Roy Lee Watkins Cooley, as he was known, great friend of mine. Lost him in 2013, and I'd lost my mom previously in 2001, but after losing my mom, I built a great relationship with my father, Cooley, and I miss him every day. Hope he's doing well. Hope he approves of what I'm doing. Probably not, but it is what it is. Anyways, I wanted to come out to the garage just so I could smoke on my cigar. I don't smoke in the house because I don't have ventilation. And we're out here where all good bottles come to die. You can see there's a shelf behind me with all the, well, not all of them, but some of the killed bottles that we have. So I thought what I would do tonight is I have about 130 bottles on my shelf in my living room or whatever, open, and so I thought I'd come out here to the garage. The only thing that could make these bottles better is a good cigar. These are some of my least favorites that I'm just trying to kill for kill's sake. We'll start with Kentucky Owl Confiscated. This is like a $120 or $130 bottle. Do not buy this. That's way overpriced, but it was the first time. It was early on in my bourbon journey. I actually bought another alligator bottle. I was like, this lady was like trying to choose between the two, and I'm like, well, I got a big swinging dick, so I'll just take both. I think it might have been the Sinatra, which is fantastic. The Jack Daniel's Sinatras and this that I bought at the same time. Sinatra, good. This, it's not bad. It's just not worth 130. Let's try it. We're trying to kill these just because they're not the greatest in the world. I will tell you, I got 5 bottles out here, and I will tell you to pass on all 5 of these, okay? There's just better alternatives. But this is the Kentucky Owl Confiscated. I mean, it's got a sweet caramel, light chocolate. I mean, it's actually better than I remember. Very sweet, light caramel and chocolate. It's actually pretty good. It's just not, I mean, it might be worth $60, not $120 or $130, in my opinion. It's actually better than I remember it. I mean, yeah, it's caramel, sweetness, a little bit of raisin, chocolate. I mean, it's better than I remember it. I will still say it's not anywhere near $120 or $130 or whatever it is. I mean, it's $50 to $60. I mean, I would not pay more than 60. But one of the reasons we came out here so I could smoke up my cigar. Very delicious. Also, just so you know, I'm not a huge cigar smoker, but I mean, I used to be back in the day. Recently came reacquainted with it, and I enjoy it with some bourbons. So I do smoke a good cigar occasionally. Right now, the ones I've had, and I'm not a big cigar aficionados, but of the ones I've had recently, I'm a big fan of Nub, just because I like their profile of the short and fat. Like, I can't usually smoke a very, long cigar just because my attention span is just not that great. I lose interest after 30-45 minutes, so, which is not good for most cigars. But the nubs are excellent. They meet my attention span. They meet my flavor profile. But I will say this: the best one I've had is the Alec Bradley Hooligan. I'm gonna go pick up at least 2 or 3 of those, probably first of the week. I got a little day trip planned. I don't want to spoil it. But middle of next week, I've got a little day trip planned for you guys that I will be sharing. Hopefully it turns out successful. And so I'm gonna pick up a couple hooligans. What I've heard so much about, I like Alec Bradley stuff. I like Magic Toast. I definitely love the Hooligan. I've not been able, at least here in Knoxville, been able to find a Blind Faith. If y'all want to send me a Alec Bradley Blind Faith, or let me know where I can get one, much appreciated. So let's move on to the whiskey though. Next is Jim Beam's Devil's Cut. We'll see what, I don't know. I mean, I take the white label. I don't know what else, but I was not a fan of this at first off. Let's see what it has to offer. But I mean, this is like a $25 bottle. Jim Beam's Devil Cut. Yeah, I mean, you definitely, you get all that oak and char. You do get a little bit of sweetness mixed in there with spice. Definitely get that Jim Beam nuttiness. There again, it's not as bad as I first remember. See, I mean, for $25, it's pretty decent. But what? Jim Beam White Label is 15. This is 25. A little bit more harsh. Obviously, a lot more char. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but it is actually better than I remember it. I would take Jim Beam White Label over this, though, just because it's sweet and smooth and nuttiness and delicious. This is more, obviously, barrel char and oak, raisin. It's still better than I remember it, which, I mean, that's good. So far, both of these have been better than I remember. I'm still not a huge fan of either one of them. Alright. Alright. Where's my lighter at? Is it in my pocket? Yeah. Let's fire this bad boy up again. So it's Friday night here in Knoxville, Tennessee. I don't know how your week's going. Mine's been kind of shitty. Had car issues. Work's been kind of slow. I guess school has started back. We got football going on, which I'm excited about football. But then this COVID Delta is I mean, I was so hoping back in July that we were over this shit. Ugh. I'm tired of wearing a fucking mask every day. Alright, let's see what bottle we got next. Next we have a George Dickel Barrel Select. So, let's see how the Flintstones are doing. One day, when I drink George Dickel, I'm gonna share some. It'll be a while. I gotta figure out how to do it, but I'm gonna share some photos from back in. I think it was like 3 years ago. Me and a girl I was dating at the time. I used to call her. Well, I don't know if she knows this or not, but I used to call her Pebbles because she looked just like Pebbles on Flintstones. And we literally, like 3 years ago, went to a couple Halloween costumes dressed as Bam Bam, yours truly, and Pebbles. And we won like, at 2 different venues we went to, we won like best couple or whatever. It was phenomenal. She was hot. So, she still is hot. That's a different story. Alright, George Dickel. I'm like, what the hell? All these are better than I remember. This is actually good. It's caramel, sweet, sugar. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of that Flintstone, but not much. I mean, it's just ethanol and that's a lot better than I remember. Very sweet, very caramelly, sugar. I may have to revisit this one again. I mean, the other two were better than all I remember them, but not overly so. I mean, I'm a few whiskeys in, but this is actually pretty good. My apologies, George Dickel. Like, I take that one back. I really do. Alright. The next one I gotta work up to. Oh, I regret this one. But I'm not gonna pour it down the drain. That's alcohol abuse. There's sober kids in Ethiopia. So, I've had this one a few times. I have not been a fan. I like Woodford. I mean, I don't love it, but I like it. But this is their Kentucky Straight Malt Whiskey. I mean, it's drunk down because I'm trying to freaking get rid of it. So, please don't disappoint me by being better than what I remember, I guess is what I'm saying. Because the 3 or 4 times I've had this before, not a fan. Well, I mean, I guess cigars make everything better, but we'll see if it does this. Yeah, sour apple. Yeah, it's just sour. Sour apple, sour mash. The nose is horrible. God bless. If this is better on the palate, y'all may want to stop watching me because I obviously don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Alright. Let's try it, but I hope it's not better than what I remember. I mean, That's a bad thing to say. I guess I should hope it's better than what I remember, but I do not have high hopes. Yeah, the nose is horrible. Yeah, it's not good. It's awful. Do not buy this shit. I'm trying to do you a favor. This is, I mean, I was giving shit the other night to Nelson's Tennessee Greenbrier original Tennessee whiskey. Hell, I'd drink that shit every day before I drink this. This is awful. This is, on a scale from 1 to 10, this is like a 0.5. I mean, not a fan. I mean, if someone wants to take the rest of this bottle off my hands, email me at bourbonquest33 bourbonquest33@gmail.com, and I'll send you the rest of this because I don't want to finish it myself. Ugh. Alright. Last bottle. This is some Heaven's Door Highway 61 blend. It's a Total Wine pick. Bob Dylan. I'm not knocking on heaven's door. You know, the interesting thing about the bottle is those are gate designs by Mr. Bob Dylan. And, you know, I hate to say this, but it's sourced from George Dickel. It's a celebrity whiskey. Bob Dylan, like the rest of us, is not getting any younger. And they have a couple of, what are they called? They're like premium blends that come in a leather box. I think they've had 2 versions. They're like $400 or $500 a bottle. And I have never bought one, although the painting on them are superb. It's Bob Dylan's artwork, but it's Dickel juice, and it's like $400 or $500 a bottle. And the only reason to buy it is to flip it later, because while they're $400 or $500, they're probably not even worth $100. I mean, I've never had one, so I can't say, but based on what I know that it's Dickel, they put Bob Dylan's name on it. It's a beautiful bottle with their beautiful artwork, with, you know, a sunset and a sunrise, whatever. The only reason to buy one is because, like I said, the rest of us, like Bob Dylan, are not getting any younger. He's going to die, you know, soon. And I don't mean to put that Ricky Bobby on you, Bob Dylan, but that would be the reason to buy it, is because once he's dead, you know, the value's only going to go up. And the artwork is beautiful. I'm just not sure about the whiskey inside. I know that sounds very morbid, and I hate to say that, but I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't wish that upon Bob Dylan, but I mean, like, we're all gonna die at some point, and you know, whatever. So let's taste his whiskey. I'm not knocking on heaven's door. It's a little hefty pour as we wrap up the night. God damn it. Well, that's alright. I didn't want to drink it anyway. So, ooh, my socks are wet with whiskey. Alright, Bob Dylan's. The nuttiness, with a sourness. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's better than the Woodford, but I'm going to relight this baby one more time. I mean, I'm most surprised out of these 5. I'm most surprised about the Dickel. That was much better than I remember it. I mean, I don't recommend any of these. There's just better options on each of their lines and the George Dickel, you can get the bottle and bond, the 15-year single barrel. I haven't reviewed the new George Dickel bourbon yet, but I mean but out of these 5, I would take George Dickel. God, I really don't like any of these, but I would probably take George Dickel, Kentucky Owl, Jim Beam, Heaven's Door, and that Woodford shit. I'll send you the bottle tomorrow if you just email me and tell me where to send it to, because otherwise I have to drink the rest of that and I really don't want to. Well, I could pawn it off on my guest appearances and friends or enemies, whatever. So yeah, well, I mean, I didn't do it on purpose, but the Heaven's Door was probably the worst, and I spilled a little bit of it. Where's the glass? Oh, here's the glass. Well, I ain't crying over spilled whiskey, not in this case. I mean, if it was a B-tack, I'd be freaking bawling my eyes out, but I mean, probably my least favorite of them, so I accidentally spilled some. I'm not gonna lose my mind over that. Yeah, that's not good. Some will say I've already lost my mind. Her name is Robbie Snyder. This bird's for you, Robbie. Well, I was hoping that Robbie was going to come over tonight, and we were co-workers for a while. She recently moved down to Chattanooga, Tennessee. She's a big rye fan. She's one of the reasons that I dip my toe into rye. I probably have 20 bottles of rye. So not nothing massive. And I've come to enjoy some of it, not all of it. Like Pikesville, like Rittenhouse, Jack Daniel's single barrel rye. We'll do a video on that at some point. Delicious. And currently in search of an Old Forester single barrel rye. But I was really hoping Robbie would come over tonight. She's an interesting character that I think when I first met her, I hated her. We had a couple of conversations. We aired them out, and then now I freaking love her. And she's a great person. And I just wish she would have come over tonight. But, she's busy. She's got other things going on. She just moved from Knoxville to Chattanooga, which I will say, I'm gonna, maybe sooner than this, but I would say at least in the next 6 months, I will be taking a trip down to Chattanooga, and Robbie and I will go to the Chattanooga Whiskey Distillery, because they're producing some great stuff, unlike these 5. So, just to recap, I would pass on all these. Kentucky Owl Confiscated, and Jim Beam Devil's Cup. I won't say pass on this one. That one surprised me a little bit. They were all pretty much better than what I remember, except for this one. This one's dog shit. The Woodford. And then that's, I mean, yeah, I'll still give it a thumbs down. If you can get it for $2, I would buy it, but otherwise I wouldn't. Alright. Thanks for joining me out in my garage where all bottles go to die eventually. This cigar is great. I'm a big fan of my father, Alec Bradley. I still want to get one of those blind face. And I'm probably gonna go Monday or Tuesday to pick up some Alec Bradley hooligans, and then I'll most likely reconnect with you middle to later next week after my trip to Louisville, Kentucky for a little surprise. Stay tuned, Bourbon Quest. Love you. God damn it.